Hi everyone, today we are in Quilombo Conversation class and we are talking about Yellow September. So first we have a video about Yellow September, so I'm going to show you the video to start, and then when we finish the video we have a discussion about it, okay? So here is the video, let's go.
Welcome everybody to this YouTube channel. The first day of September marks the beginning of Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. And it is precisely the story behind this month that I want to talk about today. But before that, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do it now. Activate the notification bell and comment on this and on other videos. In the 90s, there was a boy named Mike M. He was young, healthy, helpful, bright, and only 17 years old. Mike loved cars. In fact, he had rescued a 1968 Ford Mustang from neglect, rebuilt it, and painted it in bright yellow. Mike helped people and gave them rides in his Mustang to and from places like school and work, so much that he became known as Mustang Mike. Mike had a girlfriend, but after a while, she terminated their relationship as she was going to get engaged to somebody else. It was his first romance, and he probably didn't know how to navigate through the treacherous waters of rejection, so he was sad and heartbroken. On a quiet September night, Mike got into his yellow Mustang and wrote a note to his family that said, "I wish I could have learned how to hate. Don't blame yourselves, Mom and Dad. I love you. Mike, 11:45 p.m. Mike shot himself. His family found him in his yellow Mustang at 11:52 p.m., 7 minutes later. Before Mike's memorial service, Mike's family and friends made 500 cards with the message, "It's okay to ask for help." All of the ribbons were gone by the end of the service. People tied the ribbons in their hair and pinned them on their clothes and wore hats. And thanks to those cards, several people were able to get help to pass through their darkest and toughest times and, unlike Mike, to live another day. And that was how the Yellow Ribbon program began taking its first steps, first in the US, and then it spread across the globe and became an international movement that aims at raising awareness, providing support, and preventing suicide. Though it's Yellow September, and is the time of the year that suicide is mostly discussed about, do bear in mind that suicide should have no month or time to be addressed and tackled, as it keeps on ripping souls. Mind you, suicide is the fourth leading cause of deaths among teens aged 15 to 19 years old, and over 800,000 people fall victim to it annually. Therefore, action is needed urgently. For more information on suicide, as well as advice, please watch our other videos. And remember, whatever you're going through, it's okay to ask for help.
Okay. So that's an introductory video about the Yellow September. So what is this date about? Why is September yellow? Who is Mike? People, what did you understand of this video? Can you give any information about the video?
No,
No idea.
I have no idea.
Ah,
Well,
okay.
and I thought that initiative from Brazil.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, Brazil. Anybody created in Brazil this?
Ah, okay. Yes. I didn't know about Mike's story either. Yeah. So people normally don't talk about this. And this is a very difficult topic because we don't know how to talk about suicides. Yeah, this is a difficult topic. to discuss, to talk about, to think about. It's very uncomfortable, but it is a necessary topic because in the video, in the end of the video, they give statistics about suicides. And did you get the number about how what cause of death? Where is suicide in terms of suicide rates, in terms of death causes in the world? The first cause, second cause, third, fourth, fifth. Did you get what the position of suicides in the globe?
Fourth?
Exactly. Yeah, that's wow. That's very shocking number.
Yeah.
Suicides is the fourth biggest cause of death in the globe. I didn't know about this. I imagined it was, I don't know, assassination, crimes, but suicide. So it's really, really serious. And then we are talking about this. We are starting Yellow September campaign. And what about your jobs, your company, the place where you work? Do people talk about Yellow September campaign, or they prefer to avoid this type of discussion?
In my
They
job,
prefer.
Good. Let's go, Marcia.
Okay, Marcia.
Hi, all. It's, on my job, people don't talk about because it's like a taboo.
Mm.
Then the Yellow September is about like a September from like only primavera. I forgot the word primavera.
Spring.
What?
Spring.
Only spring, not about Yellow September.
Wow. And do you work in a school?
No, I work in a company, in a big company, but not people don't talk about this.
Wow. Yeah, because exists different ways of talking about Yellow September. For example, it is possible to talk about, to focus, to concentrate on mental health, for example, and not necessarily in suicide, because suicide is really difficult to talk about. Yeah, exactly. So they don't talk about mental health, therapy, yoga.
No, only therapy, but it's not with focus on mental health.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a body health. It's not a mental.
Okay. I see that now we have some applications like Gym Pass, for example. Now they offer counseling or advice. I think you can talk to a therapist, but I don't know what kind of service that is. We have Rafael and Wellington.
In my job, I work in a school, at school. No, at school or in the school?
Both.
Both at school. And we never talk about it, the issue about Yellow September. But this year we try in this type of approach, like you say, Humberto, thinking mental health, thinking good practice, mental good practice and physical practice. We try to support our students and our employees to think about it, and not to think about suicide for sure, but to think about mental health and to think about transform our culture, our school culture, more not more health, but more comfortable, more yes, comfortable, and the people feel belong the job and feel comfortable to be every to be themselves.
So you are talking about the students, or you're talking about the team, the teachers?
About the teams and about the team and about the students.
So the campaign involves everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's nice. That's interesting. Okay, because normally I see people only talking to students and not to other teachers, because I saw a research saying that teachers are the fifth or the sixth most stressful job on the planet. Teachers, together with soldiers, firefighters, doctors, policemen, and so they say it's a very stressful job. So we really need to talk about mental health. So it's really necessary. Yeah. So
Yes, for sure.
Okay, Wellington.
So in company when I work, and there is no about September Yellow, but it's about some tips about mental health. It's normal, but I think this is a problem about act of suicide, because it's a little this humanized. I don't know if the right word. Dehumanized. I think it's the word.
Dehumanized.
Dehumanized.
Yeah.
Thanks. And I think it's a problem because it's a taboo. And so it's very a challenge to discuss about this. So, and the discussion stay about the health, mental health.
Yeah, and one of the problems is that people say that if you the more you talk about suicide, the more you encourage people to commit suicides, and that's what they believe. So they don't talk about suicide on television, in the companies, in the church, in the public policies. Nobody talks about this because there is this idea that if you talk about that, you are going to stimulate people to do it. So do you agree that if you talk more about suicide, you're going to encourage more people to commit suicides?
I think not. I think it's important to talk about the subject, because nowadays it's complicated, because in the internet you can read something good and something bad about some information. So sometimes it's necessary stop and talk with how can I say a correct person that can help you. Because if you read some things in internet, oh, you can commit suicide. Do you remember what is the baleia azul?
Blue whale?
Blue whale? Do you remember the big problem? So this is about.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's very difficult because I don't know if there are numbers about this, statistics saying that if you speak more, you encourage more. But what I know is that there is a consensus in society that people don't, for example, when there is a suicide, a famous case, like a celebrity, for example, nobody says it's a suicide. They just say the person died. They don't reveal the causes, because there is this idea that this will stimulate other people to do the same. And then there is, as our friend Marcia said, there is a taboo around this. And the religion, official religion in the country, which is the Catholicism and Christianity, doesn't help, because what they say is that if you commit suicide, you are going straight way to hell. There is no bargain, no negotiation. If you kill yourself, you go to hell. So do you believe in this idea that suicidals go to hell, or this is another taboo to maybe get people out of this idea of committing suicide?
No, I believe it's a
Another,
huge. Oh, no.
no, let,
Go ahead, Rafael. Go ahead. You first.
sorry.
No
I
problem.
I think that is a taboo for sure. I don't believe that, and I think the pedagogic behind that is if you say something very radical, people maybe think, oh no, my life is terrible, and I no for sure I will not suicide because it's better stay here than in hell. It's totally nonsense, the thinking.
Yes, I think it's a huge taboo because people don't know about the history of why the person suicide yourself. We don't know about this. How can I say that? Oh, you go to hell. He's hell to the hell. Oh, it's very crazy for me.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult topic. It's very complicated. That's why we prefer to normally to concentrate in the solutions. So one of the solutions is talking about the importance of taking care of mental health. So when we talk about this topic, normally what people speak more is importance of therapy. So do you attend therapy? Do you have a therapist? Do you participate in therapy sessions? Do you have a psychologist?
I don't have a psychologist, but I stay with therapists on period in pandemic time because it was important for me to my mental health.
Okay. Anybody else?
I have a therapist, and I did therapy maybe during 10 years ago. So 10 years ago I did, but I stopped. I think 7 years ago. But in the beginning, like as Marcia, in the beginning of pandemic, I start again with different psychologists, and I feel was really hard because I search some Black people. I have in my mind I want to have therapy with Black psychologists, and normally it's not easy to find. And in the other hand, I'm thinking about the world after the pandemic, and I think it's important to the therapist attend close of my job or my house, and was hard as well. But now I have psychologists, and I did the most part of our sessions is online, are online, sorry, and it's easy, and I have a connection with him, much better in compare, for example, with I had in the past with a white woman therapist.
Excellent. So this leads to another question. So does the race of the therapist interfere for Black people, or the therapist race or racial identity is just an ordinary element? So do you believe for Black people it is better to have therapy sessions with a Black professional?
Could you repeat, please, the question?
Yeah, do you think it is better for Black people to have Black psychologists, or no, there is no interference? Your psychologist can be Chinese, indigenous, Asian, no problem, blonde.
I think it depends on the mindset of psychology.
Oh,
But with a black people, we stay more comfortable to talk about some questions because, like racism or prex,
prejudice.
prejudice.
Mhm. Okay.
I have a different opinion of the Leonida, because I think sometimes it's for the white people is difficult to understand some things that black people suffer every day. It's crazy. If someone have the same, not the same sentiments, but the same feeling about the life, I think it's better. Okay, I know sometimes I have a very nice uh, psychologist, white psychologist, but I think it's better when you stay with another people of color.
Why?
This is my vision.
But why do you think it's better?
It's better because sometimes can understand you,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because can respect your pen.
Excellent.
I think it is easier to explain some issues, not only racism. I think other things as well, like to be a black man or to be a black woman. I think is easier. We spend less time to explain something, and I think I believe some white therapists very sensitive, very conscious about their privilege. I think this type of people could help black people, but I think it's easier to us explain and say our pain, say our issues to a black other black people. And in the other hand, I always try to give my money for black people.
Mm.
I think the Judas did that a long time, and they have a really good good example of success because they construct a community and go to a doctor, go to a teacher, go to architect like a community. And I think the movement Black Money in Brazil, I try to support the most part of my
Yeah.
my consume. And I think it's important if when it's a problematic capitalism in society, and I don't enter in this issue, but if we stay in the capitalism system, we need to try to support our brothers and our sisters, our black brothers and black sisters.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So it's not just about a black person, but it's a black mentality. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Perfect. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. And then we have some reflection points here. So here we have a pillar, some pillars of the importance of mental health awareness. So the first point we have is mental well-being. So they say that mental well-being is crucial for your academic success, personal growth, and life quality in general. So do you believe that you are mentally well? Can you say that? Because there are some people like Franz Fanon, Neuza Santos Souza that defend the idea that a black person cannot be mentally well in a colonized or in a colonial society because there are different types of microaggressions and microviolence that those people have to suffer every day. So do you agree with those people, or no, it's perfectly possible to have a mental well-being in a country like Brazil, for example? How do you see this possibility of being mentally well?
I think it's possibility if you are I forget the word in Portuguese as well, but if you don't know the racial structure of our society, if you are alienate or our aggressive, our diary aggressive, maybe this person could be 100% happy. But I think if you know the society aggressive against us, if you notice where our brothers and sisters stay in the society, it's very, very hard to get the really happy life.
Okay, yeah, good points. Okay, what about you, Wellington, Marcia? Do you think it is possible to be mentally well in Brazil, for example, in a racist country?
It's
It's impossible.
So I think it's each people has each people have your history, because past week I started to listen a podcast about, the title is Your Trauma Doesn't Define You. And it's difficult, sometimes very difficult, you understand this, but your family is very important in this process, because even if you pass to racism and prejudice, if we understand your value, your real value, I think it's a way. But it's when I say, it's just words. The practice is work day by day, and so I think it's it's this way, my perception about this. And so the answer will be yes and no.
Okay, yeah, it's a complex topic. Okay, so you, Marcia, are you well mentally? Do you think that you are emotionally well? What is your perception?
Yeah, I'm emotionally well today, but it's not every day, because it's very difficult, because we have a job, and we how can I say interagir? Interact with the other people, and sometimes these people start in a good well. Then I think my mental health is not good too, because the people talk about your problems, your problems, and sometimes we're not prepared to hear these problems. Then everybody stay bad.
Perfect. Yeah, this is very difficult. I totally agree with you. And then we have another level of this discussion, that is level number 2, cognitive functioning. So we need mental health to function well. So mental health affects learning, memory, concentration. For example, if you are in a store, this is very common in Brazil, and then the security guard goes on following you, looking every movement you make. So this is something that makes you tense. You feel under pressure, so you cannot relax, even when you are in a shopping center or in a store, in a leisure moment with your friends or family. You don't have this possibility of relaxing and having fun because of racism. And this is something that can affect your cognitive functioning. So, um, Wellington said that this well being and this peace depends on your level of, maybe we can say, racial literacy, or your, yeah, how much you know about this racial dynamics in Brazil. So my question is it possible like to understand all this racist dynamics, and then you can overpass, you can like pass over all this situation and ignore this, or maybe not ignore, but be immune to racism? Is it possible to be immune to racism and racists and have a functional cognitive condition and live in peace? Or racism will always affect you? How do you see this dynamic?
I think the racism always affects us, and even the moment we don't notice the racism. For example, maybe I enter in the supermarket, maybe a security guy, like you say, follow me, but maybe I didn't see. But in this case, we stay all the time. We, people look us, and I remember when uh, I think I was a teenager, and I have not a girlfriend, but a partner, and she's blonde girl, and I remember the people really look at us, really look in our face, and maybe feel what happened here. If I remember one time I heard, maybe he is a pagodeiro, he is a football player, like that. It's totally no sense. I love to have the bank account of them, but I'm not, unfortunately. Uh, but I remember, and all the time, I think maybe impossible. The racism don't permear us, permeate our lives,
Yeah, pervades.
pervade our lives, and since we was born,
Mhm.
and we normally we was born in a poor family or low middle class family. Um, we I noticed, for example, some students and their parents go to Italy, go to France, go to every museum in the United States, and give a lot of courses. This type of students will have a lot of chance in the future to develop skills and knowledge. And since they was born, and I think the structure racism is like that,
Mhm.
uh, because not again us, especially objective, or maybe we don't notice this, but this type of students, type of social class, will have more opportunities during their life.
Mhm. Agree. Yes.
Mhm.
This
Yes.
okay, Wellington, what do you think?
Yes, I agree too with Rafael, because it's like a ghost. Uh, when, for example, you go at the party and people, oh, you work here. No, uh, I invited to participate with my son, uh, or or are you the doorman here? No, I live here. I have a. Not about against Dorman, but why me? I'm uh, I I've seen I'm seeing a Dorman. Uh, I don't know why you why you talk with me think that I'm a Dorman. So uh, it's a ghost uh, that you have uh, to deal with every day.
My God, this example that you gave is very painful. Yeah, because you go in a party to have fun, and people ask, "Do you work here?" This is depressing. Yeah, and as Raphael says, it's impossible not to be affected. Yeah, because you are relaxed, you are there to have fun. Sometimes you are happy, and people confuse you with work stuff in the event. This is very painful, yeah, and it's very difficult. My God. And this the point number 3, social interaction. So good mental health foster positive relationships and healthy communication. And Rafael gave a very good example, a blonde girlfriend. So how is your relationship with non-black people, white people, Asian people? So do you have a good social interaction with non-black people, or you interact more with black people? You have a tendency to avoid white people. How is your inter um, uh, uh, interpersonal relationships with non-black people?
Most of my friends are black people, most.
Mm.
But I have some friends, white friends, uh, and I think it's not a separate, but the black people comprehends me.
Ah, they understand you.
She understands me, and is the topics about the topics about my career, my life, my 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 thinkings. Then white people sometimes is not comprehensive with the things happens with me. For
Mhm.
example, sometimes I suffer racism, but my friends, my white friends, is not perceiving. How can I say?
Ah, they don't see.
Yeah, they don't see it. And what happened? Do you know? Ah, no, I'm not to understand. I don't see with racism. It's all about one topic, one word, but it's not a racist. But I feel with like a racist. But my black people in same moment understand what happened. It is difficult to me talk with my white people, my white friends.
Mm, okay, yeah. What about you guys?
My case, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
in my case, I think my case is a little different. I have more white friends than black friends. For
Mm.
me, it's complicated, but it's okay. Uh, but one thing that Marcia mentioned, I don't know here in Southwest, but in South it's easy. The racism. My white friends can talk about friendly, and the black people is the same. But I think here in Rio, in São Paulo, is a little complicated sometimes. People understand the words or the actions. In some other parts of the country, the nation is easy, totally easy to see or to hear the difference of the voice.
Mhm. Perfect. Wow. Okay, yeah, great points. Anybody else would you talk about your interactions with white people and non-blacks?
I think I have.
Mhm.
I think here, and I did some count. I think I have more white friends, but I have really close friends, and they are black people. But okay, I have close friends, white people, and I have a girlfriend. She is white. I think every my life was an issue, and I think I led to my therapist, for example, because I have a scholarship in when I was a child, and I grew up in a private school, but in this moment I don't have a friend to this time, to this period of my life. And after that, I studied without other scholarship, but in a very specific type of school because it's a private school, but philanthropic school. And the payment is very low. And there have a lot of black people, and I care with me these brothers and these sisters. But after that, I entry in the PUC Hill in the moment when PUC opened some scholarship for black, not for black people, scholarship, social scholarship, and there I have some white friends as well, and I think now I live middle class life, and I can notice some brothers stay with me all the time, but I try to stay with my black friends, and I have a very specific relation with them, and I think we understand together like racism works in Brazil, and like we try to avoid not avoid the racism, but try to defend against the racism, and I think this type of friendship is very special. Maybe I can um, I can add some of them all the time. Some of them go to abroad, go to out of Rio as well. But when we met, we stay and we stay with the same friendship, like the past.
Yeah, it's a great point that you mentioned because this is exactly the preparation for point number 4, because point number 4 is the academic performance connected to mental health. I know some black people who left abandoned university and abandoned school because they were the only blacks in the room, and in their opinion it was very violent, and then they decided to leave that space. I have a friend who left the course in USP because he said USP was a very racist atmosphere. So my question is it possible to be mentally well in a place where you are the only black or one of the few blacks, or no, it's difficult to be a student in an institution where most students are white and you are the only black? Because I think this was your situation, more or less. Yeah, Rafael?
Yes, and I think it's really hard, um, especially in the first moment of my life. I I was the only black child in the black student in the school during 7 years, and was very hard. After that, arrived other black students. But in the second moment, I have a lot of black partners, and it was easier and was very comfortable. My experience in the high school was really amazing. But it's, yeah, it's, and I think I work with schools, with pedagogic, with education, and try to avoid this type of situation. For example, now I'm staying in the position. I design the policies to inclusion in my school, and inclusion is is more than, for example, neurodiversion, atypical neurodiversities. Is inclusion thinking about racial, about sex, about sexual orientation. And I think I work because I suffered a lot during my beginner years in the school.
Okay, yes. So any other
Yeah.
any other student here had this situation, Lisandro?
Yes, I have the same feeling about Rafael, because if I know Rafael, you student at PUC in Rio. Yeah, I studied at PUC in Rio Grande do Sul, so
Yeah, Alexandro,
it's
sorry, my
hard.
sound
It's totally
yeah,
white. And
yeah.
some moment they talk with me. Oh, you are a African student? I talk. No, I'm a Brazilian. I'm a black. What? I can stay here. This is the trash talk that I need to hear every day. No, it's not Brazilian. No, it's impossible. Think about every year. But it's okay, because if you understand that the place is not for you, you need to fight for space. You need to not fight, not the fight, but you need to. Oh, I'm still here. Okay, it's not easy. It's most of the time complicated, but in the end, it's very. How can I use the word? Oh, I could walk into this dark, dark period of my life, but I can survive. I think it's like this, because it's not easy. You think only about the university. Think about the school. In the school is totally complicated, because I was in the public school. Every year I lost another black student in my class. It's crazy. In the
Wow.
end, in the last 3 years, I was the only black guy in the class. In the
Mhm,
last 3 years of the public school.
mhm. Yes. Yeah, and they say that this is a very difficult, mentally speaking, psychologically speaking. They say it's difficult for Black people to be the only one in the space. So do you share this opinion, or it was okay to be the only Black students?
No, I think it's the system. It's all about the system. The system is for eliminate the other black guys in the class, because
Uh-huh.
okay, because it's difficult, because don't sometimes don't have the support in the house, don't have the support of the teachers, and the atmosphere is complicated. So it's only for eliminate and made your, how to say, give up. I don't know what this is. I think it's give up.
Give up, yeah.
Give up all the time. It's oppression all the time. You most of the time you don't have the voice in the class, because you need to sit in the back of the class, not in the front. You sit most of the time in the back of the class. So, and survive. I remember my chemistry teacher one time. Well, what is the Lisandro? Because this guy have the good scores here. I use my hand in the in the back of the class, and she, what? And in the end of the year, I received a book of this teacher because she think, oh, you can be a chemistry one day.
Wow.
Yes.
Uh, may, may I
Yes,
may I comment
of course.
very fast because the time. uh, but it's a question, a complex question, because we can't make mistake. It's a because uh, uh, once a life, people said something for you, and you afraid about, because when we make some mistake, people uh, talk with us the other form, and it's a question that it's it's for days of discussion here. But normally you arrive on the places, in the place in the classroom, and you look at the side. Oh, but just me is a black people, and people look for you the different way. And oh, it's very complicated, this, because all my life, and I when I arrived the class, and just me is a black, and people treat you the another uh, different. It's different for other people.
That's
And
right.
I think the most hard of the situation, because normally the type of experience black people pass during the childhood or teenager moment, and a moment very sensible, very complex, and I think people don't have defensive to avoid some like bullying, like racism, because if now I think I have the defense, and I will drive crazy everybody and confront me about something, about the issues I lived in the past. But in that moment, it's totally impossible. Right? Is very problematic situation.
uh, may i may I say some, and sometimes I think is, oh, okay, I let it go. I must to go ahead with my life, and this, because if you look at this all the time, you you stop in your life. But it's our life is just one life. We have one life just.
Mhm.
For support your point, I remember my mother told me when I was 8 years old, you need to study more, you need to think more your actions, because if you don't think, you have a lot of problems every day. Think every time that you need to make some things in the class every day, because it's hard, it's not for you, but if you could, you can survive. And my mother don't have study.
Because you have to be perfect. You're the perfect people.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, it's very hard for
Perfect
us.
to survive. No, only for survive.
Mhm.
You have to be double perfect, because like
Double,
the expression
triple.
say,
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
the black people need to be, you need to prove something all the time. And like Mano Brown said in the music, tem que ser duas vezes melhor all the time.
But
yes.
It's
but
very hard to
Rafael,
take
that
with us.
if you think more, it's not for everyone, because most people receive the same information. The black people receive the same information, but some things, they don't care. It's not for me. It's
Yeah.
for all, but it's hard. you need the patience, you need the good feelings. You think in the end, I will win.
Yeah, it's very, very deep. My goodness. Well, today we are in the second slide. So we have a more. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. So next class we're going to continue because Yellow September just began. So we have a lot to discuss about. Then we continue from this point. If you have the time and the chance, you can, as homework suggestion, just to summarize the principal ideas in the video that we saw. Yeah, you can put like points. What are the, for example, 3 or 5 points that he mentions in the video that, in your opinion, were the most important points? Yeah. So that's to summarize the video. So that's the homework suggestion if you have the time. And then we can start the class by this correction. Okay. So I hope you have an amazing week. See you next Thursday at 5 p.m. Goodbye. Have a good evening.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you all. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye, Marcia.